Today we're doing 7-1, plotting points on the coordinate plane. Homework is 7-1 in the green book, page 307, 1 through 26 all, due tomorrow at 8 a.m. New vocabulary words are coordinate plane, coordinates, ordered pairs, x-axis, y-axis, quadrants, origin, x-coordinate, and y-coordinate. All right. So this is what we call our x-axis. When we make our coordinate plane, it's made up of two axes. We say axes. The x-axis is really just a horizontal number line. We've got 0 in the middle. To the right is the positive. To the left is the negative. If you go to the left, you're getting smaller. We call this one-dimensional. If we do a coordinate plane, it's two-dimensional because we have two dimensions on our number line. One that goes horizontal, and we have a vertical number line. If we go above 0, it's positive, and if we go below 0, it's negative. So this is the coordinate plane. Each of their number lines have a special name. So the horizontal name is called the x-axis, and the vertical one is the y-axis. You should be taking all these notes. Okay, when we plot a point on the x-axis, or on the coordinate plane, we use what's called an ordered pair. Okay, and so if I'm going 3, 2, I would do this would be my x movement, and this is my y movement. Our x movement is also our across, and this is the up and down. Okay, so the second number is always, do I go up, do I go down? If it's positive, we go up. If it's negative, we go down. With the across movement, if it's positive, we go right. If it's negative, we go left. So we always start at our origin, which is right here in the middle. And because that is 3, 2, I count over 1, 2, 3. I go across 3. That would be a positive 3. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, up 2, and that's how we figure out. It's almost like an address for a point. Together we call this an ordered pair. Okay, so again, we go across. Our origin is at 0, 0. Everybody say origin. Okay, so to get here again, we're just going across 3, up 2. Now we have other points we can plot. So let's say -3. Since the first one is negative, this is my across movement or my x movement, and this is my up and down movement. So since it's negative, I'm going over 3, and then I'm going to go positive up 1. Okay. And for the next one, I'm going to go positive to the right 5, and then down 4, because it's negative. And notice how I'm labeling it B, number C. In your homework tonight, you can label it either by, you really should label it by the ordered pair or by the number, so you can check it. So for tonight, let's say this is number 3. You can call it number 3, okay? Okay, the areas of the, meaning if number 3 is asking you, let's say this is number 1. You might want to put number 1 next to that point. Or not that point, that was this one right here, okay? It might be easier for you to check your answers. And you could really do 1 through 16 all on the same coordinate plane. It should be pretty quick. You don't need to make 16 different planes. Okay, next, the quadrants. The quadrants. So, the quadrants, when we're in elementary school, we basically start with just this quadrant right here. Okay, you're in kindergarten, and they start teaching you to go across and up, and there's no idea of negatives. So that is where we begin with quadrant 1. We call that quadrant 1. And then we go clockwise. So the next one is quadrant 2, and the next one down clockwise, it's counterclockwise. So I'm going to quadrant 2 is the one to the left of quadrant 1, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. So these are the numbers, and we never refer to them in anything other than Roman numerals. So you got to get those, make sure those are memorized. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. I want you to notice that every time I go to the right, for something in quadrant 1, notice it's going to be positive and positive. Positive across and positive up. If in quadrant 2, we're going to be negative and positive. In quadrant 3, I'm going to be negative across and negative down. And then in quadrant 4, I always do my across movement first, so it's going to be positive and then negative. So you might want to jot those down too. All right, so now we name the quadrant where each point exists. What I would suggest is you make yourself an XY axis and just kind of figure out, okay, I'm going 2 across and down, so that would, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Now notice the way 4 is written. 1, 2, and 3 are written with 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines. 4 is the I minus the 5. If it's before, it means minus, so that's 4. Okay? So now, when I'm doing this, do it in blue, right? I'm going to say, okay, I go 2 across and then down, so I'm in quadrant 4. Quadrant 4. If I go 5 across, 7 up, I'm in quadrant 1. If I go 6 negative, 6 down, I'm in quadrant 3. If I go 6 positive, then 6 down, I'm in quadrant 4. So that's basically, pause the recording and try the next 3 on your own. Okay, let's check our work. You should have had number 5 was quadrant 2, number 6 is quadrant 4, and number 7, doesn't matter how many I'm going, it's really about the sign, remember? This is positive and this is negative, so you go positive and then down. You go this way and then down, and so where are you? And we always start at the origin. And then the last one's a little tricky, because if I'm going 7 across and then I go 0 down, I'm not in a quadrant, I'm on an axis, so you can't consider that, and that's why they say no quadrant. All right, name the quadrant that is described below. The quadrant in which the x-coordinate and y-quadrant are both positive. So go in the positive direction. Right? Make your little graph. Go positive, positive, and here I am. I'm in quadrant. So quadrant in which, okay, name the quadrant that is described below. So if it's positive, positive, then that would have to be quadrant 1. Okay, quadrant in which the x is negative. In which the x-coordinate is positive and the y-coordinate is negative. So if I'm doing that, going here, I'm going positive, and then go down, and I'm in quadrant 4. Try the next 2 on your own. Now let's check our work. Negative, negative, you should have got quadrant 3. And the next one, going negative, it should be quadrant 2. Okay, here we go. So let's go ordered pairs. The domain set of x values. Okay, the domain is all the x values in our ordered pairs. So when you make that ordered pair, 2, 3, the 2, the domain is always the x values. So here would be the domain, here would be a domain, and the range would be the y values. That's it. It's pretty easy. And so we could list those by, if we stated the domain, all we're doing is listing, and we put them in a solution set. Let's get red. We said the domain was going to be red. It's 3, it's 4, it's -3, it's 0, and it's -4. We usually like to put them in order, so -4, -3, 0, 3, 4. Put them in the solution set. I'm going to erase that. And then we're going to do the same thing for the range. Only this time, it's the blue. Now, you guys go and do that. Find the range. I guess they didn't put it in order, but you wouldn't be marked wrong, but just trying to get you in a systematic way, but you wouldn't be marked wrong. I guess do what's where you're not going to lose any points. So if that's causing you extra time. So your range should have been -2, 1, 4, 2, and 0. Now, to plot the points, we basically start at the origin, okay? I'm going to start at the origin, and I'm basically going 3 in the positive, 1, 2, 3, and up 1, 2. Okay? So I'm going in this direction. I always start from that origin. And then I would call it 3, 2. Now, if you want to tonight, you can call that like number 2, because that's probably how, I'm not sure how the answers are. They have it by number, so you might want to put the number. All right, take a minute and plot the points. Oh, look what I did. I did it wrong. I thought it was positive. So it's 3, negative, down 2. The next one's going to be positive, positive in quadrant 1, over 4, up 1. Next one we're going to do is down 3, right 3, left 3, and down 4. Oops, I'm going ahead of myself. Okay. The next one I'm going 0 across and 2 up. The next one I'm going 4 to the left and 0 up. All right, one more thing that they might have you do is plot some points and connect the dots. Let's play connect the dots. We used to do this in elementary school. So we start at -5, -1. And then I'm going to go to -2, -3. And then I'm going to draw the line between them. Okay, then we go to the next one. I start at the origin. I'm just going to do one more sample. And I'm going to 5 across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down 1, 2, 3. Going right here, we don't leave those little squiggles there, and then I connect the dots. And then I'm going to, that was letter C. Go to 6 across, 1, 2, 3, 6, and then down 2. All right, down 2, and I connect the dots. Keep going, and let's see what you come up with. Now let's check our work. You should have had a little boat. So that is our graph for the day. Okay. That is our recording. Please make sure your work is done by tomorrow morning.